Oh my god. Hey, what's up, guys? I want to tell you about one talisman in particular. One talisman that I think is a little bit under the radar at the moment. It's this one, the Ailment Talisman. Raises resistance to the last ailment suffered. So basically what this talisman does is it gives you status resistance to whatever last status you took. So for instance, if you got poisoned, then this is going to give you a poison resist. If you got bled, this would give you a bleed resist. But it works also in tandem. If you get poison, it gives you immunity. So you resist both poison and rot. If you get bled, it resists robustness. So it gives both bleed and frostbite. You know the deal. Okay, so how does it work and how does it compare to everything else? Because I think it's important when explaining this talisman to understand how much immunity you actually have on your character normally. So my character right now, wearing heavy armor, wearing the poison mushroom crown, wearing some gear that has pretty high poison resist, you know, not optimal, but average high heavy armor. The reason why I'm wearing this in particular is that I can get a 350 flush immunity. So 350 is going to be like on the higher end of what you can achieve for immunity, for instance. Now, if you put the Spiral Horn Shield, this gives you status resist to all elements. This gives you 50. So right now my immunity is at 400. Now, for the sake of comparison, we also get Immunizing Charm +2 now in the DLC instead of +1. So what we have is basically before we could get 140 extra immunity from the Immunizing Horn Charm +1. Now we can get up to 580. So this is worth basically 140 and this is worth 180. So we can get all the way up to 180 here. So now that you know the range, so Spiral Horn is 50, the best talisman we had was 140, the new best we have is 180, which is pretty damn good. But now take a look at this new one. Take a look at this one. So let's just poison ourselves or rot ourselves real quick. So as you're seeing, it just popped. Look at my immunity. It jumped all the way to 750. That's crazy. 750. Let's heal that. So we went from 400 to 750 and 400 with the Spiral Horn. So basically, normally we are at 350 immunity. And if we only have this talisman, we get double our immunity. So this is worth 350. It's basically double what you'd get from a full set of heavy armor. And not only that, you can remove it and you keep the effect. So technically, you can remove it and you can replace it with, you know, one of your choice, and you can get pretty high status resist. If you start stacking your status resist with this new talisman, you can easily go all the way up to like around 1000. Let's see here. Look, 1000 like that, 1004. And that's not even mentioning you could even use like immunizing meat on top of all of that, which this one gives around 100. Now that you understand how much status resistance the new Ailment Talisman gives, I want to show you that not only can you remove it, but you can actually apply the effect when you're already poisoned. So right now, unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait 2 minutes because this buff, once it procs, once the talisman procs, not only can you remove it, but it lasts 2 minutes for poison. It's actually a different timer. We tested all of them. It's a different timing for poison, for bleed, and for, or actually I should say for immunity, for robustness, and for focus. Unfortunately, poison is the one that's getting hit the most here. Poison is 2 minutes, bleed is 45 seconds, and focus is only 30 seconds. I think this should be probably a little bit more balanced overall. I think it should probably be like 1 minute across the board, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys see this, but I think 1 minute across the board would probably be pretty decent, because on one hand, I'm not against 2 minutes of immunity or 350 immunity. I'm not against that. However, I don't think that's enough for for sleep, because right now sleep is the most dangerous status in the game. There's just too many things that can sleep you too easily, and you kind of need resistance to counteract that. And right now, 30 seconds is not enough for that. So with that being said, if you get poisoned, let's do that real quick. If you get poisoned, so you see right now I have no effect but the crown that just kicked in. So we're poisoned, we're still on the rot. But take a look at this. I can just apply this, remove it, and look at that. It applied the resistance. So you don't even need you don't even need to have it equipped when it happens for the poison. Obviously you will need to have it equipped prior to equipping it for stuff like bleed and madness and stuff like that, of course. But when it comes to poison, you can just equip it after you get poisoned and get that massive resistance boost for no cost, really, because you can apply it and then remove it afterward. So whatever talisman you had before, like let's say you had Bull Goat, you just switch Bull Goat quickly to this one, then remove it after you heal your poison, and then switch back to this. So yeah, pretty neat little niche talisman that From Software added there. I really like it, although I wish that it gave more focus resistance for longer. Not more focus resistance, but longer focus resist, because focus again is 30-second, bleed 45-second, and poison is 2 minutes of poison immunity. Also, final note, the Ailment Talisman also works for all status effects at the same time. So basically you could have it equipped, get bled and poison, and you're gonna have the ailment resist for both robustness and immunity active at the same time. And you can remove the talisman and keep both effects. So as long as you have the talisman equipped when the status is active on you, so in the case of bleed it's instant, so you need it prior to getting bled, but when it comes to poison or frostbite, you can actually do it after getting poison or after getting frostbitten, and you'll have the effect. But it's going to work for all status at the same time, so you could technically have an extra 350 of status resist in all focus, robustness, and immunity, all the status schools. I hope you guys found this quick vid informative. Enjoy the rest of the DLC, guys. I'm still probably less than halfway through, still taking my time. Alright, take care, everyone. Dude! Holy shit!